Interesting, isn't it, with Rachel Reeves, our current Chancellor of the Exchequer. She recently gave a speech once again at Mansion House detailing, basically yet another tax raid on all the hard-working people. But I often wonder exactly where are the Chancellors looking, because there's a lot of money around that they could simply scoop up and get, of course, some tax from that. When you look at it, there's some very obvious things, but apparently at this point, Rachel is refusing to look into this. Why? Let me explain. Morning, good to see you. Thank you so much as ever for your time today. Nice to have your company. And thank you for supporting my recent video, of course, on how the banks don't want your money either. Incredible, isn't it, when you think? They just don't care. It's as simple as that, If you want to go in and open a bank account in NatWest, HSBC, you name it, you've got to go and do it all online, whether you can do it or not. Well, there's got to be a revolution coming soon, hasn't there? Customer service has to come back. Maybe this is exactly what the Chancellor of the Exchequer needs to do. You see, while she's scouting around looking for any different ways to make sure she can grab as much money as she can from hard-working people, all the while people invading this country illegally, migrants, etc., offering nothing with no intention of working at this point, well, what do? Well, it's quite simple. You look to the massive wedding venues, absolutely. Now, I don't know if you know this, but there are some spectacular Muslim weddings held at mosques up and down the country every single weekend. But the fascinating bit that I found truly interesting was you could have up to 2,000 people attending the wedding. That's right. 2,000 people. Here's where it gets more interesting, because a friend of mine who is a regular at these weddings told me this, that you have to deliver a cash present. Now, as you know, at most Christian weddings and I believe Jewish weddings, you get offered gifts, and the gifts are to help you set up home. It can be a mixer, curtains, bedding, all that sort of stuff. Yes, on occasions there are cash gifts, but nothing of this scale. The minimum offer that you are allowed to submit to a Muslim wedding in a mosque is anywhere between 250 and 500. Times that by, say, 1,000 if it's just one side of the spouse. That is a lot of tax-free money. Now, what's fascinating also is that this money is swished around, as you can imagine, because every wedding has to do the same thing. One might suggest, of course, that Rachel Reeves really needs to look into this, because this is literally tax-free. Where does this money then go? Now, according to that source, a good friend of mine, as I say, who is a Muslim and would like people to know this, he said, oh, well, you see, basically then it's put into businesses, or they help buy property, bigger houses, that sort of stuff. How is this allowed to go on? And if the Chancellor of the Exchequer doesn't really care about this level of, well, some might suggest money laundering, what on earth is she looking at? Now, there's a big business there, phenomenal big business, every single weekend of cash going around this country without being taxed. And yet, it's the poor people, the people that really could do with something, that get things snatched away, like the winter fuel allowance. Isn't it time that Rachel Reeves decided to stop wondering about the portraits that she's got in her office and started looking at exactly where all of this cash goes without any tax? That truly would be groundbreaking for this brand new Chancellor of the Exchequer. Anyone else agree? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.